social anxiety, and networking. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live, brought to you every day by dreambizchat.com. The dreambizchat.com, it's a place just for business owners and executives, people who are decision makers in their field, and specifically for people who are in the self-reliance field. So if you have products and services that help people to become more self-reliant, you're going to get something out of dreambizchat.com. Go and check it out. There's a video there, and it'll tell you all about the dream business transformation, and it's free. So go check it out. Let's talk about social anxiety, and let's talk a little bit about how that fits in with networking, because I know a lot of business owners that don't go out because they get anxious around other people. And you could be really good at running your own business and doing your own thing, and even working with the people who you normally work with. But when you have to go out there and talk to anybody else and feel like you've got to be kind of on the show type of thing, where you're out in the open and everything, and you kind of have to be on. You have to be, you have to get something accomplished or something else. All those things that go around with networking, I understand that that is an issue. And while I'm a lot less socially anxious than most people, one of the things that always held me back from networking is I didn't know what to say about myself. I always felt like it would be a complete waste for me to go and not say something about myself and my company. But at the same time, that's why I'm there. And so how do you do that when you don't want to be too self-promoting and everything else? The first thing I want to focus on is the real reason where most of the anxiety comes from. If you have a clear understanding of what you're looking to achieve out of a networking, whether it's a networking event or whether it's in general networking in a different location, any type of network, what's networking? Let's define that. Networking, the way that I'm referring to, has to do with meeting with people on a social basis, whether it be a business club or a specific networking meeting, meeting people on a social basis so that it will eventually lead to business, whether it be a partner, whether it be a customer, whether it be a client or what have you. That's what networking is all about. It's all about developing business by relationship. So how do you get around that? If you've got that, if you don't have that issue, don't worry about it. Turn this off and don't think about it. Move on. But if you've got that issue, it's important that you understand some of the basics behind it. One of the main things that I think people do if they're anxious socially, especially when it comes to networking, is you don't have a clear idea of what you're wanting to get out of it. You don't really know who you're looking for. You don't know specifically who you're looking for, and you don't know really where to start them off on. You don't just ask them for money. You don't just ask them to buy your product. There's got to be a step-by-step process, and if you don't have that worked out, networking can cause a little bit of anxiety. The main thing that people do, and they never point this out when you hear people talk about social anxiety. I just took a course on it. Not that I was all that interested in social anxiety, but I work with a lot of people who are newcomers to business, and it's one of the main things that people have a tough time getting over is being anxious around other people. And so the main thing that almost all of them have, almost to a T, if it isn't preparation, if it isn't because you're prepared, if you're prepared and you really know what you're after, you know what you want to get, the second thing that they'll tell you to do is they'll tell you to focus on the other person. And that's a great tip. That really is a good tip. If you're not focused on what you're getting, but you see if you can get to know other people and see if you can help them, the other key to that is helping them to get what they want to get. Whether you can connect them with someone that you just talked to a couple minutes ago, or whether you can connect them to somebody that you already know that's outside of the room. Helping people, talking to people, and finding out what they're about will help you take the emphasis off of you and allow you to not think about what they think about you, which is a lot of where the anxiety comes from, is you're thinking, everyone's looking at me. What if I don't say something right? What if I've got a stain on my tie? What if I've got this to that? And I've been through a lot of that. But there's a root to all of that also. And the main root that causes most people to be socially anxious, and the reason why it takes you out of yourself by focusing on other people, it's important to understand the root too. The plain fact of the matter of is most of us don't like other people. I mean, just be perfectly honest, we resent the hell out of everybody else. We just don't like them. We do. And so we carry that along with us, and we put all these judgments on people before we even meet them because we don't like them, because we've been hurt by people in the past or what have you. You've just got such a huge resentment for other people that you can't put yourself in that frame. You don't want to be in a room with them because you'll automatically start resenting them, and you feel bad about resenting them. You know, your conscience starts coming up, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be that person. So it's something to keep an eye on. It's something that you've got to work out on the inside. And there's a lot of ways to go about doing this. I've helped other people be able to go through it because I had to go through it myself. I had to see it in myself and figure out, okay, how do you come out of that? And it's really important that you keep an eye on that, because that'll debilitate not just a networking situation, that debilitates your whole business. It doesn't allow you to go outside your comfort zone, because just outside your comfort zone is another person that's going to remind you of somebody else that you didn't like. And then you're going to be hating on them while you're standing there in front of them. You're not even going to know why. And then you feel bad because you're hating on them. That's a little bit deeper than most people ever get into when they're talking about social anxiety, but I guarantee you it's the truth. In most cases, people who are really overly anxious, I mean to the point to where you're having panic attacks and everything, a lot of it comes down to resenting other people. And then another component to the whole thing is really, it sounds too simple to be true, but it's nutrition. Honestly, a whole lot of us get overly emotional when our blood pressure is up or down, too high or too low, when our blood sugar is out of control. So we just ate something that kind of spiked things, and if you've got any type of diabetes or pre-diabetes, if you're pre-diabetic of any sort, a lot of that stuff will affect you heavier than most other people. Anything like that, if you've got a low nutrition level it can have such a huge difference on your brain. I've been seeing it a lot with one of my clients has a product line that helps people a lot. It's just a basic vitamin, but because of the way it's developed, it's able to help people to get over a lot of mental issues, depression and other things, just by a little change in their nutrition. So it's another thing to look into is talk to somebody who you trust when it comes to nutrition. And the everyday doctor doesn't necessarily know nutrition, so you might want to talk to a nutritionist, but talk to somebody that knows, that can do some blood work and do all the things necessary to see if just a little switch in your nutrition can make a big difference. Or you can research it yourself. There's a lot of great stuff online. Just be careful. I'm definitely not trying to encourage you to go one way or the other with that, but it's another thing to look into. If you're looking to balance things out and get everything up and running so that you can get out there and build your business, because that's what it takes. It takes a lot of legwork and a lot of getting to know the right people and putting people in the right spots within your business. So hopefully that's helpful. We'll be back here tomorrow and talk about another thing, another principle, strategy, or tactic that can help you grow your business by huge leaps and bounds and really make a difference in your life and the life of others. So you have a great night. We'll be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.